Welcome to Show Em The Dore. I apologize because that probably hurt your ears. My name is Willem. That's Chris. This is the only podcast that got swept in Whiffle Ball the other day. We didn't win.
Hey.
We're
trying to keep the streak of never winning an intramural game in anything.
Every organized sports thing I've been to, I haven't won.
Well, we're taking a dub this Saturday.
I haven't won anything.
We're winning this.
Intramural basketball.
Nope, not a game.
Intramural volleyball.
I haven't played. So
Other intramural basketball.
You didn't have me on the team.
Intramural cornhole.
Oh, God.
Whiffle ball.
I didn't go to the ping pong league.
Intramural soccer, I won a game.
True. But he didn't get
We
any
were
minutes.
1 for 3. I didn't play much the first game. I played maybe 5 minutes. Probably
Not the point.
This year.
Today, before we get into our shenanigans, we're going to set an agenda for what we're going to do.
Wow. What are we, consultants?
Yes.
I'm sending this to Boston Consulting Group.
Thank God. Maybe they'll get you past the last round.
Mashallah.
Yeah.
You past the last round, that's a job.
You heard me.
Okay. If Boston
I'm sorry,
Consulting Group gave me a job, I'd be ecstatic.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to see my boys eat. You don't want it?
Got it out the mud.
Yeah.
For real.
Sorry, I'm trying to see the family make it out the hood. I don't get what the problem
it's
is.
the only way I can make it out the hood is Boston Consulting Group.
I'm sorry. Like,
have you seen those videos where it's like the white kid that's playing basketball?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, this is my only chance to get out the hood. You know? Lives in the fancy.
The hood is like Birmingham Shires, and it's like a gated community.
It's like Bremerton Farms.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Honey Oak, Honey Oak Forest.
Crisp Stream Forest.
Yeah, exactly.
Pond Lake.
Swift
Parkway.
Swift Brook Highway. like
Melbrook Road.
Melbrook? Isn't that a real? That's a real place in.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think you saw that in Knoxville. I think Melbrook's real.
What's the road in Knoxville that I don't like because it's just incorrect?
Kingston Pike?
Yes. Is it?
I don't know.
There's one of them where it's just not said the way that it's spelled.
Okay, not Kingston Pike.
And it's egregious. It's like, it's so obviously not the regular word, you know?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I can't remember what it is, but it bothers me.
I remember you talking about this.
Every time and I'm like, oh, this again.
One more time. In my 20 years. I cannot believe.
Yeah.
That's a reference to Willem's dad. Shout out Willem's dad if you're watching the pod.
Yep.
I feel like your dad... There is this dude. We have to go to a baseball game in the next couple weekends because there's a guy that goes to all of them and he's just your dad. It is like, when I'm telling you your dad might have a second family, like the way that he acts and like it looks to an extent. He's like a little bit more portly than your dad. He's a portly fellow. But no, he's not. He's just
skinny as all.
Your dad is just he's a skinny guy. He's like your dad, but like if you just widened him out on Google Docs a bit. Yeah, you heard me.
Word, yeah.
And he's back there and he's like he legitimately, in one of the games that we went to this weekend versus UCLA, he was like, oh, you gotta straighten that one out there, Diaz. And I'm like, I was like, he was like, you'll get him next time, champ. And I'm like, oh my God.
That was his pitch.
Yeah, no, it was so funny. Or like, he would just make noises. Like, it'd be a bad strike call, and he'd be like, nah! And I'm fully expecting your dad, like, if there was a bad fall, I'd be like, like, yeah.
Every once in a while, I get a little glimpse into my future.
Yeah.
And it's like, when I see my dad do things, and then, like, when people, like, do stuff that reminds me of my dad, and I'm like, that's gonna be me.
Yeah.
That is legitimately going to be me.
To quote Justin Timberlake, that's gonna be May.
What?
Do you not know the song That's Gonna Be Me by NSYNC? It's gonna be May. No?
No, I only know the one NSYNC song.
Bye Bye Bye?
Yeah, that.
It's the second biggest NSYNC song is It's Gonna Be Me. Anyway.
You know what's stuck in my head now?
What?
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Give me a sign.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Why are you so zesty with it, bro?
I did give it to him.
That's going to be our thumbnail.
Do you remember Freaky Friday?
Yes. Mainly
it's
because
painful.
of Lindsay Lohan. But
It's horrifying to watch. The
What?
scene, it was hard to like.
I'm
get
sure.
through.
I'm not okay. For all the viewers at home, I can't handle simulated social awkwardness. I can't handle real social awkwardness either, but it's so much worse. And that's why I can't watch The Office. And I know all of the white women are at home being like, oh, you can't watch The Office? It's the best show ever. He spilled his chili. It's so funny. It's not. Secondly, it's just like, it's just awkward and gross and like, I can't deal with it. And so if Willem ever references the fact that I couldn't look at something, it's because it elicits such a visceral reaction in me that like I just have to turn away. I can't listen to it.
So for that reason, I made him watch Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday was a good movie.
The one with Lindsay Lohan. Have you seen
Yes.
it?
I hope so.
You have. If you haven't watched it, it's really good. It's on Netflix. No, it's on Disney Plus.
Is it on Disney Plus?
Yeah, it's a Disney movie.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, it's a Disney movie. I didn't mean to say it like that. It's Lindsay Lohan. She was a Disney Channel person.
Listen, man, I never watched Lindsay Lohan whenever she was like at the height of her fame before all the drugs.
Yeah. But like it's just horrible to watch because it's very like 2007, 2005, you know, where it's like
If you wanna buy me flowers,
just go ahead now.
Yeah, I'm surprised that's not in there.
For real. But it's just it's really tough. It's a tough scene, you know. It's tough to watch because it's just there's so many moments where it's like, oh
Yeah, it's
I don't
very.
want to see this, you know. It's just tough. And Chad Michael Murray's in it. If that tells you anything about the movie, like it's so 2000s that Chad Michael Murray is in it. I think Chad Michael Murray is the definition of like 2005. You know?
Yeah.
It's so him.
I don't know.
And I haven't
actors
even
really.
seen One Tree Hill, and that's like what he is.
Yeah. Okay.
That's him.
Yeah.
He's
You're
the
just
dude.
speaking words right now.
I'm just
man.
speaking words, man.
Yeah.
I be using my mouth. And like there's a scene. So the premise is like they switch people. Lindsay Lohan likes Chad Michael Murray, but he's old.
He is old.
He's legitimately an adult.
I would also have qualms if I was Lindsay Lohan's mom in that movie.
Yeah. So Jamie Lee Curtis is Lindsay Lohan's mom.
Why do you know this so well?
Because these are like known actresses.
I'm not really big into pop culture in that way.
I'm sorry. Jamie Lee Curtis was in like all 25 of the Halloween movies, I think.
Okay, can we speed
Yes,
this up
we
here?
can continue. So Jamie Lee Curtis, like doesn't like the dude. Not my daughter.
Which is fair.
Which is fair because he's like.
Old.
It turns out he doesn't even go to the school.
Yeah,
he's
like-
he works at the school because he's a grown adult.
This is in high school.
Yeah, and she's like a freshman or sophomore in high
Predator.
school. Victim, right?
Victim,
So
victim,
then when Lindsay Lohan is in Jamie Lee Curtis's body as like a grown person, they meet. The grown person, Lindsay Lohan's soul, talking to Chad Michael Murray.
Yes.
And they hit it off because like
You ever heard that Little Dicky? No, it's Chris. Yeah, it's Little Dicky and
it's
Chris
Lil
Brown.
Dicky and Chris Brown.
Yeah, it's like that.
Woke up Chris Breezy. It's literally that's the premise.
No, I
of it.
know. Yeah.
And so like he falls in love with her, but at the same time Jamie Lee Curtis is like engaged to some dude.
Yeah.
And she's about to get married. And then she's like, no, we can't like be together. I'm gonna get married, and I also am not me.
yeah.
And so then like Chad Michael Murray shows up outside their house with a boombox, and he's singing I think it's Bowling
forgot
for
the-
Soup's cover
I think-
of Hit Me Baby One More Time, and it's just so bad
I love that. Like I blocked this out of my memory
because it's so difficult.
terrible.
It's so difficult because
Yeah.
he's out there like, my loneliness is killing me, and I must confess, I still believe, when I'm with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time. And then, like, it's horrible to
It's
watch.
terrible.
It's
I also
so bad.
hope we don't get DMCA'd for all of the music that we've been
Dude,
singing.
if NSYNC sues us, no. That is what's her name?
Britney Spears?
If Britney Spears sues
NSYNC
me,
for Hit Me Baby One More Time,
I'm
as if there's a
sorry,
single
I'm
female
stupid.
voice in NSYNC.
I only know the Chad Michael Murray version.
Have you never heard the Britney Spears version?
Well, like maybe once in like the year 1900 99.
Oh.
2000.
Willem's really old, confirmed. Willem's like, back in my youth in 1902, when Britney Spears dropped Hit Me Baby One More Time, along with Amadeus Mozart's Third Symphony.
Yeah, really, I was bumping like...
Me and Wolfie were going crazy, and then Britney Spears came in the stew.
I was bumping For Elise. And then the Hit Me Baby One More Time.
He actually mixed the two.
There was
crazy.
when the DJ would like, you know, do the transition to that, I'd go brazy.
Hit me, baby. It'd be crazy. It's the wildest. Yeah, exactly. I actually should DJ. I'm never gonna DJ.
Would you DJ our Xbox party?
If you want me to.
We actually, we're either gonna have a band or do a joint party with some frat that might have 5 guys in it.
Separate idea. You let me DJ, but I'll just play your podcast in the order that you guys say, but like make it seem like I'm DJing. Or I'll be like, you guys ready for this? And then just play like Mr. Brightside. I'm like, you guys are gonna love this one. And it's like, because when a heart breaks, no, it don't break even.
That's a really good song.
Sure, yeah. It's also one of the wider songs in the history of the world.
It's so good.
It's like the breakup songs of like that have even an ounce of soul of them are like Confessions Part 2.
What am I supposed to do when the best part of me
and then there's that.
Always you?
And then Confessions by Otis, like, these are my confessions. Just when I thought I said all I can say, my chick on the side says she got one on the way. These are my confessions. Are we ever gonna get to sports?
This is part 2 of my confessions. That's such a good song.
If I'm gonna tell it, Willem. I gotta tell it all. Darn near cried when I got that phone call. I'm so
darn
home.
near.
I don't know what to do, but to keep part 2 of my confessions.
My confessions.
Usher, don't sue us.
Bangs, dude.
Usher
what was
does.
Yeah. You make me wanna leave the one I'm with. Start a new relationship with you. This is what you do. Usher went unreasonably hard.
He had like a 4-year tear, and then
man went crazy.
Doesn't he have like AIDS?
I think he has HIV. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Him and Magic Johnson.
Yeah, him. They were. Imagine Usher has a history of being rather a promiscuous fellow.
Usher.
So I wonder how much he has spread that. That's dangerous to think about. Anyway,
that's tough, man.
Yeah, this is a PG podcast, which is why I use the word promiscuous. Let's get into Vanderbilt sports.
Terrible.
Yeah, we played. I remember this started. I want to let you know that this whole. Why is your face so red?
Because I was
rubbing it. Yeah, came out looking like.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
I rub my face and it's all red.
I mean, I'm talking like I'm not red all the time without doing
lobster.
It. Yeah, old Larry the Lobster face. These big meaty claws. This all started because I was trying to set an agenda, but we had two different sports this weekend. Not this weekend, but over the course of this week.
How many?
We had basketball and baseball. So, basketball. We talked about our loss to LSU. Very, very sad. I cried about it deeply, vehemently.
Passionately.
Yeah, it was like a full sob. You know, one of those good
guttural,
one of those good cries, like you feel better after because you can't feel almost anything. You know what I'm talking about? It's like you've spent all the emotion in your body and you're finally at peace in that wasteland of nothing. Anyway, so that was really sad because
this podcast is sponsored by the University Counseling Center.
Yeah. Have you ever thought to yourself, I might be depressed. Better get on a 7th-month wait list? Go to the UCC.
The UCC's wait list is not quite that long, but it's close. I got in like 2 weeks.
Okay, you're cool.
So,
we played Auburn. No, we didn't. We played Florida. Don't know where the Auburn came from. Am I missing a game? It's LSU because we played that in the midweek, and then we've started a game right now against Kentucky in Kentucky.
Right now?
Yes, like right now.
Ooh.
Woo! So we played Florida. My mother was at the game. Shout out Yumma. She was also at all the games I'm going to talk about, which is how I watched them all because she was in town. It was great. We started in the student section because I kind of thought that in the back of the student section it wasn't going to be a super well-attended game because we had just lost to LSU and got all our tournament hopes dashed. But it was really, really, well-attended. It was really well attended, so we had to actually move up to the upper decks because people were standing up, and I didn't want to stand up the whole game, and because I was with my mom, and I'm not trying to get all rowdy, you know what I'm saying? So we went to the upper decks, and we actually had a really cool view, and we beat the heck out of Florida. Like, it wasn't ever close.
They're a bad team.
They're not a bad. They're like, their RPI is like 40 or 50.
Yeah, but
and like their net is the same thing.
I do love Todd Golden.
Yeah, they lost Colin Castleton, though, so we should have won. And we did. We beat them pretty bad. Jerry Stackhouse said after the game that he was upset with how the net is done because whenever he's beating a team pretty badly, I think we won by like 17. Whenever you're beating a team badly, he wants to get in youth and try to get some experience under their belts, and that generally results in a closer game, but he deems it more valuable because you're still going to get the win. And he voiced his displeasure about the fact that he couldn't do that within this game because of the fact that he wants to boost our net as much as possible to even have a hope at a tournament. Mm-hmm. Which, to do that, we would have to beat Kentucky today, as well as beat Mississippi State, and then do pretty well in the SEC tournament. Yeah. Which I think is possible.
Doable things.
But not probable.
Yeah.
I think we're a good team, and I think that we probably are one of the best 64 teams in the nation right now, but it's not based on who's the best right now. It's based on who has created the best body of work, which is sad, because I think that we are a good team. I don't really know what else to say for the basketball game necessarily, because of the fact that, like, everybody played well. Like, Tyron played well, and he got the craziest oop I have ever seen, actually. I didn't show you that video, but it was the most, like, wild, like, came back and was like, it was such a crazy dunk that, like, he didn't land on his feet. Like, he came down on, like, his, like, back-ish. And I thought I was worried for him for a second. But, like, it was a wild dunk. Tyron does that. Man off an ACL tear just absolutely goes wild in terms of dunking.
Buck wild.
Yeah, he's going buck wild. Ezra Mannion is a defensive stalwart. Liam just drains threes nowadays. Studi sucks. No, I'm just kidding. But what Studi does, he is the streakiest guy. Because man started 2 for 2. Same shot. Corner. Both times, 2 straight possessions. And then he got a third one, bricked it, and then went from 2 for 3 to 2 for 7. And then he hit another 2 threes. So I'm like, well, your percentage isn't bad, but like...
But what?
But like, how about instead of like...
Those 5 in a row you missed?
Yeah, and like they were...
every other one.
The thing is like, I would be less likely to like bash any... Like, I'm not even bashing him. He's a good player. He adds value. But like, they were wide open. Like, if I see Miles Studi shoot a wide open 3, I expect him to make it. And the first 2 were, like, they were even a little contested, he made them. So whenever he would get a wide open 3, I'm like, okay, it's in. And then he would brick it, and I'm like, well, like, that's just odd, but, you know, everybody misses one. You'll get him next time. And then he missed 5 straight like that. You know, that's statistically improbable for him. So, I don't know. It wasn't, but it was a good game. We beat the heck out of Florida. It was a fun time. And that's really all we have for basketball, except for the fact that we're still hoping we can get some consideration for the bubble. I don't know if it's going to happen. I think that our most certain way that we make the tournament is, I don't know if we get in unless we win the SEC tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
The broadcaster at the Florida game said something like, well, I mean, they've won like 7 of their last 8 games. You know, that's pretty good. If they can win out the season and do well in the like tournament, that's like they've won 10 of 11. There aren't many teams right now that want to go up against Vanderbilt. So like,
not want to go up against. Sure.
More faith in us than like, you know.
I think that saying that
some people did, but the committee, my 12 dudes in a room.
I'm not arguing against the fact that we should be in. I'm saying they're not going to put us in.
Yeah, I think
Losing to LSU is a quad 3 loss.
Really?
It is a quad 3 loss.
Wow, loser State University for real.
And we couldn't, like, if we lost to Kentucky in Rupp as the one game that we lost out of the stretch, I was okay with that because they're like a team that's wildly on the rise and they're going to be in the tournament. And so I was okay with that. But losing to LSU, who was 1-13 in the conference at the time, like we were their second win in the conference. And it was not particularly close. Tyron started the game with 11 points and we lost. 11 straight. He scored our first 11. We just looked terrible. It was so upsetting because we win that game and we're like squarely in the bubble. And we just didn't.
Squarely in the bubble.
Yeah, it's rough. So, baseball. We have played 4 baseball games.
How many?
Since the last time we made an episode. 3 of them were against UCLA, and then we played Austin Peay yesterday. So let's break down these games. Friday, we'll start with the outcome. We won 5-0. Only 2 pitchers pitched, Carter Holton and Bryce Cunningham. Bryce Cunningham looks like a star. Man is crazy out of the bullpen. What I'm hype about, and this is something that I want to talk about real quick, is if we can lock down the starters spots, which I think we pretty much have. Like right now we have Holton, Owen, and Futrell starting, right? When the pitch counts come off these people, because right now we're still ramping them up, we have 3 lockdown closers. And so if, for instance, we can say that each starter goes 6 innings pitched relatively consistently, 6 innings, Bryce Cunningham. For Colton, 6 innings, 3 for Bryce Cunningham, which he did very well. 6 innings, Hunter Owen. 3 for Thomas Schultz. 6 innings for Devin Futrell. 3 for Maldonado. Like, I don't know, assuming that there isn't some weird, like, none of these people haven't been consistent. Yeah. Like, there's not one that I'm, like, worried about of those 6 pitchers. And so, I'm wondering how the rest of our bullpen gets managed. Because, like, I don't even think Jack Anderson has pitched this year. Like, Patrick Riley looks awful in the midweeks. Man, he just doesn't look good. I think he needs to be a bullpen guy.
Yeah.
And that's really sad because he has great stuff, but he has no command. Which is just rough. Sam Leboki is okay for like an inning or 2, but you can tell that he hasn't pitched in a while and he loses steam. Ryan Ginther looks great. I love Ryan Ginther. I'm trying to think of, who else.
Grayson.
Oh, like Grayson Moore looks great, but he's been pitching in relief in the midweeks recently, and I want him to not be. Duck Canch, I'm not even mentioning Andrew Duck Canch. Here's what I want. I want those 6 pitchers that I listed to be in the weekends, and then I want Andrew Duck Canch to be the starter of the midweek. That's what I want. And I don't know if it's going to happen. I hope it does, because I think he'll be a really good starter once he actually gets that opportunity. But he didn't pitch this week at all. So I don't know what's going on. But, okay, so Friday. Carter Holton pitches 5 2/3. And that was just because of a pitch count. He was looking great. I don't think he let up like maybe a hit. I think he maybe walked 1 or 2 guys. Didn't let up a single run. Bryce Cunningham comes in, goes brazy. It was one of them, like every time he's come out this season, it's been one of the more dominant things I've seen. And so that's pretty exciting, I think. Our bats were wildly inconsistent in that first game. We scored 5 runs all in 1 inning, I believe. Or it might have been 4 in 1 and then like a random solo shot somewhere. But we scored the 5 runs in a very constrained time. And I guess if you're going to get hits, have them be in consecutive order. You don't want to have like empty hits, if you will. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I just want more offense. I will say Enrique Bradfield Jr. came into the weekend like 0.77. He's now almost 200. He was doing well. And in the Austin Peay game, I think he got on base his first 5 times up. 3 of them were walks, but he had like 2 hits. And so if he can just calm down and, start being that 325 hitter he was last year, or, I think that with another year under his belt, he should be like a 350 hitter. If he can be a 350 hitter just looking for base hits and looking to get on base and then cause havoc on the base paths, he could be a wildly impressive baseball player and potentially the best on the team. Jonathan Vastine looks amazing. He's easily our best hitter right now.
Look at the hair on that kid.
Yeah, you can tell he's grown up because last year he looked like he looked almost bald, and now he looks like that.
Yeah. He's got the baseball hair now.
And like the person that I'm most disappointed in is Calvin Hewitt. I love Calvin Hewitt, and he hits the ball so well he hit the ball so well last year. And this year he is not doing very well. He's like almost dipping under 200.
Really?
Yeah.
Has McKenzie played much?
He's played some. He played the entirety of Saturday. And he came in with like a 400 batting average, granted on not as many at-bats.
Probably 5.
I think he ended under 200.
Ooh.
Like, he has so much power if he can just make consistent, meaningful contact with the ball.
Yeah.
We have Alan Espinal catching. He's a better defensive catcher than Jack Bolger, but people thought that Jack Bolger might take a step forward offensively for us, and he really hasn't. And I think Espinal provides a much greater upside for catcher. The second he can start getting consistent contact with his bat, the power pops every single time he touches the bat. It's just sometimes it's a really powerful high fly ball.
Yeah.
Or like 102 off the bat directly to the shortstop. So I think he provides a much better that. I think Parker Nolan has been very consistent. I think as the season continues, he'll get to be a better batting average. I think right now he's in the high 200s. And I think that's about where I expected him.
Yeah.
I expected a little bit more from Shrek.
Yeah.
He isn't like...
I don't know why.
He bat 288 at Duke, and he came in, he was supposed to be this kind of like, not replacement like Dom Keegan or anything like that, but like another consistent hitter. And I haven't really seen all that from him, though he's been okay.
Yeah.
He's also stiff on the base paths, though. He'll get like picked off, and he just looks so slow. And like
every pickoff attempt,
yeah,
I'm like, he did not make that, and they're like, safe, and I'm like,
oh, he barely made that.
Thank goodness, and they'll try it again and again and again, and I'm like,
yeah, they were talking about it in the Austin P game. And they were like, oh, he was barely off the bag that time, so almost got picked off, and I was like, oh my god,
like, geez, dude, please do not leave the base.
But then Saturday, Hunter Owen pitched, I think about 6, and then we actually used a combination of some pitchers. I think it was Sam Laboki who came in next, and he got, I think, 2 solo shots. We lost that game 3-0, but they were all on solo shot home runs. Mm-hmm. And so I think Sam Laboki gave up back-to-back solo shots, and then somebody else, I don't remember exactly who it was. He also, I think it might have been Ryan Ginther. I think he came in, they got a solo shot off him as well. So it was a bit of a rough game. Mostly it was a rough game for us offensively. It seemed to be the exact opposite of the Friday game, where the Friday game was we got all our hits at once and they got all their hits spread out and they left a ton of people on base. What we didn't do, that was the opposite when it came to Saturday. And so Sunday, the rubber match was a tense game. We took the lead in the second inning with a Davis Diaz 2-run shot that got Jonathan Vastine in.
Hey.
And then we didn't score the rest of the game, and we didn't have a base runner until the 7th. Yeah, it was rough. Mm-hmm. But Devin Futrell pitched 5 and a little bit, I think. He pitched 5 innings, I think, just straight. Then they brought in Canch, who gave up a run and got through 1 inning. And then 7, 8, 9 was Maldonado, who he had to get 9 outs, and 8 of them were by the strikeout. He allowed no runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts.
That's crazy.
He looked insanely dominant. It was wild, and I was very nervous sitting there because I really wanted that to win because it would have packed off like a series win on the weekend for Vanderbilt, as well as the basketball win. It would have been a great weekend with my mom. But It was a tense one, that's for sure. But so then last night, because we'll be uploading this tonight, so Tuesday night, we played Austin P. And I didn't get to turn on the game until the top of the third. And as it was like coming on, it was like, oh, and at that top of the second, Austin P scored 5 runs, and it's like 5-1. I'm like,
Yep.
what
happened?
What happened? I look
What
it
happened?
up, and Patrick Riley went like, he gave up like 5 unearned, as he does, because he looks really great for about 6 outs, and then he decides that he loses every ounce of command and just gets shelled. And then, well, it isn't that he gets shelled, it's that he walks 3 guys and then gives up 1 really bad pitch that resulted in a grand slam. And so the game was relatively out of reach until the 7th or the 8th, one of the two.
It was the 8th.
The 8th. And we scored 8 runs. It was a while. In the 7th, we had bases loaded, no outs, and we only got 1 run across, and they were like, and that was some great damage control by Austin P. Then in the 8th, we also got bases loaded, no outs, and I'm like, is it going to happen again? And then we got like 4 hits in a row, and like one of them, like the first one was an infield hit by, no, it was a walk. They walked a run home by like Jack Bolger, and then, in the 9 slot, and then Enrique came up, and man hit an infield hit. And then RJ Austin got a hit, and like Vastine got a hit, and then I think we pinch hit Troy Leneve somewhere in this inning.
Yeah.
And man just slapped it over the first baseman's head right down the line, and he got a double, and I was feeling good for him, and then that's when the inning ended. But we scored 8, so it was like 11-7, and that's how the game ended.
I think RJ Shrek reached the base twice that inning.
Yeah, I think he did too. Stop messing with the pillow.
No, I really hate that this is like...
So don't do it like that if you want to get it off. You didn't get it off.
It's not a thread.
But
oh, rats.
Yeah. But it was a good weekend for Vanderbilt sports.
It was.
Hopefully we can beat Kentucky tonight. And I think that's all we have for sports.
Is the game going on?
Yep. I'll look at the score while you talk about something else.
So, we're here to now talk about the real sports, okay?
We're tied.
On Sunday. Really?
15-15.
Nice. On Sunday, we played some Whiffle Ball. Whiffle Ball. Show Em The Dore Whiffle Ball.
Yeah.
The team is comprised of me, Chris, Sam Sleeman, and a dude named Nick.
Nick Givo.
Gibo, that's his name?
Yep.
Interesting. I've never met Sam or Nick. Sam has an incredible mustache, and Nick made some pretty cool plays, so I like them.
They're good guys.
They are good guys. And so, here's the thing. Chris is pretty good at baseball. By, like, a standard of, like, just your average dude, you know? Nick is pretty good by your standard of an average dude. I have never in my life played organized, like, anything, especially baseball, right? Never. Never, ever. Never had to worry about a strike zone or anything real. I've played baseball, like, in my parents' front yard is the closest thing, and then I broke a window. Did I tell you about that? It was tough. And then Sam, like, has never touched a bat in his life, I don't think.
Yeah.
So we go out there, right, on Sunday. I just rolled out of bed. I'm like, okay, boys, I'm feeling terrible. Let's go.
You gotta take your meds next one.
Yeah, true. I didn't take my medicine beforehand, and I was getting sick, so I'm like, ugh. We get up to Branscombe. We start hitting some balls around BP. I hit weirdly well.
Yeah, you gave me a lot of hope.
Yeah, I hit weirdly well. I'm like, guess I'm a tank. I guess I rake is the thing. Like, I was like, okay, I haven't swung a bat in, like, since the summer. And I guess I'm just, like, that guy, you know? I'm batting the cycle is the thing. Let's see. So then we start the game. Chris was our pitcher. I played center field. Sam played third. And Nick was in left. They only ever hit balls to left. Like, I fielded maybe 3 balls in center field. It was so heavy to left, we had no one in right, and there was never a ball near there. First inning, I think it was We shut them out first inning.
Yeah.
It was solid. They got a little bit of contact. I think they got like a hit or something. But it was pretty good by us. I felt nice. We get up to bat, and it was not a great showing.
Well, no, it started off really well. It
What happened in
started,
the first inning?
Sam got on base with a single,
Oh, yeah.
and then I reached on an error. We had 2 on, no outs.
Yeah.
And then you hit a fly ball that Sam, not knowing the rules of baseball,
No, it
ran
was
on.
Nick. I bat
you fourth?
fourth, yeah.
Okay, so Nick hit a fly ball that was an easy catch, and Sam doesn't know the rules of baseball.
Can't blame him.
And so he sees a hit, he just goes, and we had to tell him that, hey, you can't run on fly balls like that, because it was so it became 2 on, no outs, a 2 on, 1 on, 2 outs, and it was just me, and then I think you did not.
So
was not one of your hits.
I got some contact with the ball, went up to the shortstop, but it went up towards the shortstop. The pitcher got it first, and then he runs over to tag me. Like passes like he could have just gone to the pitcher's mound and gotten
you
out.
must have hit it down the first baseline.
I guess maybe.
But, like, it
in
was
my memory,
not
it was
a
the other way,
lot.
but like evidently he's running
I
towards
know
me
exactly
to
what it is
tag
because
me.
I can see it because I was running to second looking.
Okay.
You hit it like very close to the pitcher's mound, but like if this is the baseball diamond and this is home plate, you hit it like here. So like he would have had to throw it back. Like you were closer. Then.
Okay, that makes sense. So he's going to tag me on the way to first, and I'm like, I got this. So I like sidestep away from him, and he like has to toss the ball at me like an inch or two, and I like slip and fall backwards, try to catch myself and fall forwards. The ball hits me, and I slide on my stomach to first base. Totally out, mud all over my shirt and my pants and my shoes. I hit my jaw and my arm, and I'm like, it's the first inning. Like, it's the first inning of the first
and then he
game
had to
of
go
the
to center,
weekend,
and
and
then
now
he-
I have to go field the ball. Like, what in the world? So they're like, oh, geez, dude. And then the guy's like, I didn't mean to, like, push you down. And I'm like, no, I just tripped. I just fell. I'm a fool. It was not you at all. Good. Thank you. And they, like, I get up, and I'm like, well, that's the inning. Or that's the top of the inning.
Yeah.
We got into the field again. That's the bottom of the inning. So we got in the
They
second.
shell us for 3 runs.
They got 3 runs. We go at bat again. Sam gets another hit somehow.
Sam was going crazy.
Sam was
low-key.
going crazy. He had weak contact to third, and he's fast, so he would just beat him to first.
Yeah.
I can't really remember that game. It didn't go well. They beat us. We didn't
did.
score a run that game.
No.
The second game comes
Went
around.
much better.
And we're doing better.
We start by batting, and I lead off, and I lead off with a home run.
Yeah.
And I felt so good about myself
like
considering
second
I
pitch.
was terrible in the first game. Mm-hmm. Like I was 0 for the weekend because I reached on an error. So I
reached
didn't,
on an error.
Yeah, so that counts as an 0 for 1. But I didn't reach the rest of the game. It was terrible. But I hit a home run. Started the second game. I'm like, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling huge. I strike out the side on the next one.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was. So, shout out Connor Campbell, by the way.
He runs the league.
Yeah, he is my friend. He runs the league. As much as I love backseat reffing him, because I'm like, that was not a strike. He does a great job, and I'm very thankful for him. Shout out Connor Campbell. He was dogging me as I got up to bat that time. He was like, let's go see a hit here one time, Chris, huh? And then I tank it to left center, a home run, and I was feeling really great. Let it be known that was the one hit I had on the day.
Second inning, I was maybe a foot away from a home run.
Yeah.
I hit it out to left center,
Granted-
right where you hit it, and it hit the line and rolled forward, and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, that was...
It was a single. It was a single,
the thing
and I
is
was maybe a foot off.
No, that's not true. It was not that close.
It
But
looked so close.
the thing is it was a perfect gap shot.
It was great.
But it wasn't...
If it had been a couple feet
Your
farther,
launch angle... It wasn't... It was like in mid-center when it hit the ground. Like in between like where the infield would be. It was not that close, but it was close.
I had a pretty good view of it.
I did 2, considering I was like not even batting. I just struck out or something, and I was sitting over there like... But you did get on... It was a good hit, actually. It was one of the best hits of the day, I would say.
It was, but they got too fast. It's just a single.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
It's
oh
hard to
my
get
gosh,
extra base hits in
so
that game.
Close.
Because do you know that the field is only 29 paces to the poles?
Really?
Yeah. So, like, I mean, a few feet, maybe it was just a few feet, but a few feet in that game is like
half of the outfield,
Yeah.
you know? So like we're feeling good. We go up like 3 points.
Yeah, we were up 3-1.
Yeah.
3-0.
And then
And then I choke the game because I'm terrible.
We had 2 errors.
I walked like 4 guys.
Yeah, it was rough. I missed a fly ball.
I missed the throw.
Chris missed a throw. Or you caught the throw when you shouldn't have.
No. It wasn't going to roll out. It wasn't that I fielded it. It was that I went to peg him, which was the right play. It just, I missed.
Oh, that makes sense.
And then the thing is, if I hit him like I should have, I would have been able to get to the ball faster so that people wouldn't have been able to run around third and score. It would have it would have been it would have been essentially a sack bunt.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It wasn't a great showing.
It wasn't a great showing.
Statistically, I am our
Leading batter,
which is scary.
He's batting 400.
I'm batting 400, which is crazy, man.
I'm
that's not how it should be.
batting 143, which
Chris
tells
is 1 for 7 with a homer.
Yeah.
Sam is like
2 for 6. He's batting 333.
And then
Nick is going 0 for 6.
0 for the like
0 for the series.
0 for the season.
Yeah, he is over the season for
Man legitimately was on his Jack Boljark. 0 for the season. Man.
I don't think he's gotten a hit.
Jack.
Yeah. Like if he did, it was against Austin P last night. Like in the most legitimate way.
That's tough, man. But yeah, we're playing on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday at 1.
Saturday at 1. We're gonna come out and support.
I've bought bats and balls that
we're
are.
Gonna get some BP
similar.
in tomorrow because I have nothing to do until I get roasted.
I'm learning to push with the bat.
Our plan is to just get knocks down the first base line because no one is ever fielding there because like,
it's an instant extra base hit.
Yeah, like that's the only way we can.
If I ever am coming around third into home, I will be sliding into home every time.
Yeah, we'll be sliding.
Like
yeah, dive.
Yeah, I'm diving into home every single time. I hope you understand. That's why
I got mud on a good Bucks shirt and I was mad. There's no way.
You were pissed that whole game,
dude. I didn't take my medicine before this game. Bear in mind, I am like just not a solid individual. I see this fly ball come up and I'm like, okay, this is me. I got this. Chris is up there. I'm going towards it. He sees that it's me. I'm running this way and I overshoot. So I'm like, I gotta back up. So I'm like, boom, 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 and it falls right behind me.
Yeah, no, it was really bad. I'm gonna be real. I was like,
It was one of the worst things I've seen.
Because like it was 3-3, bottom of the third. It was literally like they could walk off the game. We got 1 out, and nobody maybe there was a guy on first because I walked a guy, and then that happened, and I was like, oh, 1 guy on first, 2 outs. That's pretty good.
That could have taken us to extras. Is the thing.
Yeah, but then
in the worst moment, I made the worst error.
Yeah.
Ever.
But then
that game.
Then up until that point, that was the worst error of that game. Then the next worst error was me walking the next 2 people, and losing the game off a walk.
Yeah, he walked the game away.
I did.
But I missed that one, and I'm like, okay, so I tossed Chris the ball, and I'm walking back.
I looked at him and I was like,
and you go. And I'm like, Chris, I'll kill you. I'll kill you right now. I'm telling you.
It wasn't like a hard, it wasn't like a fast one. That's the reason I was like, because it was a perfect, that's so disrespectful thinking about it, and I'm sorry.
And I'm like,
because I'm like,
this is the worst thing that's happened in my entire life.
I'm like, I elicited weak contact high in the air. That's all you can ask for in
That
those
is all
games.
you can ask for, and I make that egregious error, and I toss the ball to him, and I'm walking away, and I'm like, wow, maybe I should never, touch a bat, touch the ball, walk on this earth again, this is terrible.
And then I walk on the game.
Chris goes, and I'm like, that's it, I'm done. This time I'm gonna do it. It is over with. Legitimately, very few times in my life have I been more like,
you're like, I hate him.
There's never has one action, hurt me at a deep level more than that, that you gave me at that moment from the pitcher's mound. You turned to me right as I turn around, and I'm like, and I got to face the team,
Yeah.
I'm like walking this way. I'm like, okay, I'm considering my actions, and I have to turn, and then everyone look at me, and then you.
It wasn't
turn around to go again. I'm like,
because it's not like
I've never felt like a worse human being.
It's like the equivalent of I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
It's what?
I'm gonna explain what I saw. So I see it go up, and I'm like, no chance that has the distance to get.
It was cake. It was the easiest catch
I've
ever seen.
So I see it. It goes over my head, but like I see like the launch angle. It's like a really, really high, shallow arc. Like you have to come in for it.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here and I'm like, that's Willem. Like that's just cash. I turn around like beaming. I'm like 2 outs, 1 on. We're about to go to extras, and I see Willem come up and like he's. I'm looking back, so he's angling to my left, which is his right. And then at the end, I see him jerk back to my right, and I see the ball fall, and I was so shocked because like we've been throwing things.
It was so gingerly.
Yeah, like it was
falling through the air.
It was.
My issue is that it just bounces off my hands typically.
Yeah, like
Chris
that.
will
I
throw
expected.
things to me. Chris will throw things to me like every day, and I'll like.
You've gotten so much better at that, though. But like,
I've
the thing is like
I've never like totally missed the ball. Like
yeah, no. The thing is if I expected Willem to drop a ball, which I didn't expect him to do, which is why I hit him with the like. I expect Willem to succeed. I expected him to have it hit his hands or him to like kind of clutch it too soon and it bounce off.
That's the error that I would typically make. I'm just not in the vicinity of the ball.
It was like there wasn't wind.
No, it was perfectly leisurely there.
Yeah, no,
It was so just like.
What we're gonna do is we're also gonna throw fly balls when we get the balls.
Yeah.
We're gonna like legitimately throw them.
Well, we gotta run like drills, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no classes tomorrow.
Okay, I do. I have a presentation and an interview, but
Nice.
whenever my stuff comes in, it says it'll be in tomorrow by 10. I hope it gets in earlier than that. If not, we'll do it on Friday.
Yeah, word.
Because I literally have nothing on Friday. Like my class got canceled.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. My honors seminar doesn't meet again until like April.
Interesting. Anyway, do you have anything else to talk about?
So then I'm like, wow, terrible. And then I'm like, well, these aren't normal thoughts. I should have taken my medicine. This is not good. I never took it that day.
Yeah.
Forgot, sorry. Went to the storage unit afterwards. We lost the game, and I'm like,
Yeah, it was rough. But
it was one of those like where I
coming back
consider
with
like
a
never doing anything ever.
We're coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
So
We're playing like, what's their
We're
team
playing
name?
a good team this week. So they're called the Cookie Monsters. We're playing a good team. And so, I don't expect to win, but I think,
expect to win.
I mean, let me rephrase. I expect to win. I'm not going to be disappointed if we lose.
I will.
Okay.
Unless I take my medicine.
The thing is
then I'll be like, well, I'm having a good day, boys.
the thing is I'm
true, it doesn't
I'm
work.
always expecting to win. I always get mad when I lose. 'Cause I'm a competitive person.
Yeah.
But the thing is these are our non-conference games. They don't matter nearly as much as our series, because all of this counts for one game. Whereas when we play in the series, if we lost the first game and won the second two, we're still 2-1, as opposed to just one.
0-1, yeah.
Yeah. So right now we're just
are our
0-1. We'll figure that out in 2 weeks.
Interesting.
I think they're probably already made, but I don't know.
I hope